Hey guys, Russ here from Wilson Land and Cattle Company. Got two things here. I'm back on one of my property lines. Property line to the south, I guess you could say. The neighboring landowner marked his trees with purple paint. And I'm going to discuss the purple paint laws and purple paint business here a little bit with you. And the second thing I want to discuss with you here is my deer fence. This here is what they call a 3D fence, and I've done other videos on it, but I thought you might like to see it or get a little refresher because we've had a lot of new subscribers to the channel, and I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. So anyhow, 3D fence. This is a single wire on the outside of my perimeter fence. And looking back on this here fence probably should have been pushed back, but it was kind of a rush deal to get it done, so it is what it is. But anyhow, here's the perimeter fence. Here's my 3D fence. What it is, it's out 36 inches, and it's up 30 inches. And what it is a deer deterrent. A deer can only see two-dimensional. What happens is he comes up to this outer fence, he or she, whatever, comes up to this outer fence, and they can't tell the distance between them, so they don't know how far to jump. So what I've found a lot of, they hesitate. They come up here and they hesitate because they're just unsure of themselves. And what happens is they get up against this fence, and it's electrified, so it scares them off. And I don't see any posts, but a lot of this here is a new way of attaching your wire to round fence posts. It's just a 4-inch fin tube insulator. If you're cheap, buy 6-inch fin tubes, cut them in half. But it's hand tied on the insulator there, or on this post. And any of you that have used screw-on insulators, you're gonna know what I'm talking about whenever I say, whenever they pop, a deer pops them off these round posts, those screw-on insulators, they take 6 or 7 of them at a time, and in the long haul, the fence is down. And you know, if that's an exterior fence or an interior fence, the deer knock it down, and then your livestock are out. But in this case here, they do not pop them off. Oh, this one down here is bent. Okay, they do not pop them off the posts. See here, a deer has hit that and just bent it, and that's a great thing. I'm good with that. So okay, let's go in here. I want to talk about purple paint a little bit. Purple paint, I wanted to check this here out. Piece of garbage. We humans are very, very dirty people. It's a recyclable container. I have no idea what it is. It's been laying there for a long time. Okay, purple paint. Here in the state of Pennsylvania in 2020, the state of Pennsylvania had mandated that we're allowed to paint our trees purple instead of using no trespassing signs. In the state of Pennsylvania, it means no trespassing. So what I wanted to show you here is, okay, see, here's one of my signs. I used to do red tag deer, and it's a deer control area. You had to mark your perimeter with these deer control tags, but I never put one on the neighbor's property. But the neighbors like to put, they used to put signs on me, and in doing so, whenever they put a sign on me, I just tear it down and throw it back over onto their property, because in my mind, it doesn't belong there. And I contacted this landowner. The original landowner here has passed away, and his son has stepped in, and he's taken it over and helping his mom patrol it, I'm sure, trying to keep people off. And that's fine. If you know you don't want anybody on your land, I don't see a problem with it. But don't paint my trees purple. And I'm going to go over some laws with you on that. On painting trees purple. There's a bunch of them down through here that are on my land that are painted purple. This is a very, very good deer hunting area. The landowner had passed away here. He had already established a property line before I was here. Now this tree has fallen down, but he has his name on him, Campbell, and then boundary marker, and then he has a I guess it's a probably aluminum nail. Knowing him, he was pretty conscientious about his trees. But he had these trees marked until this white oak is fallen down. But as we walk down in here, we're going to find trees that were marked over the line. And this here's one example. I don't know if you can see that white tag down there. And then there's a white tag here. This tree is 1 foot over onto my property line. This is actually my tree. And he has this tree marked. And this video is not for legal advice. This video is just what I've learned. So, you know, you need to consult an attorney if you're gonna do any of this. But whenever you go over, you paint, and this here, this gentleman, if he doesn't get it fixed up here at some point, and I talked to him, he said he's gonna come in, he'll paint over it, paint over the purple paint, and then move his purple signs back. So I'm okay with that because I don't want to be a jerk. See, if I'm walking down in here, there should be, here Toby, there should be a purple corner post down in here someplace. I'm actually on the neighbor's property here right now. He's got a trail the whole way around his property, and there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I had a trail around my property. Past summer I was going to send Walker into the woods to the excavator and make a trail, but we just didn't have time. So maybe next year. This tree here is my tree, painted purple. Trying to find that purple. It may be down too far, but there's a purple corner pin. And I don't think it's really a corner, it's just a boundary marker. Piece of rebar. Okay, right here's a boundary marker. Let's see if they got any of my trees painted. And there's a boundary marker. And the trees painted. No. He might have done a better job down through here than what I thought. We'll see here. This one here is on me, I'm pretty sure. There's purple. Nope, that's a lime tree. Okay, it's down here. Toby! You can see this woods is open, way open, and you can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a browse line in here. You can see it looking out into the field. See how looks like somebody took and pruned everything down? That is a sign that we have too much deer pressure. And I know a lot of sportsmen, they don't want to hear that, but that's what makes an unhealthy forest, because you don't have any regeneration. Okay, here is a property marker, a pin. He has it marked, and I'm good with that. There's a pin, and then we can go straight up through here, and I can see 3 of the property boundaries. And now we come down here. This here's an example. If we come down here, right there's a pin. There's a boundary marker down there. Now if we come over here, if we look here, he's got a tree marked that's on my property. Okay, now that's 15 feet. Now I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, if those are on there too long, they can claim squatters' rights and take your property from you. I don't know about that legally, but I did do some digging and whatnot. It's against the law to mark trees on your neighbor. If you're marking property boundaries on your property, they have to be on your property. So right there is a tree that's marked on me, and I don't know if it shows up in the video, but it's about 10 feet over the line. And you can see here, he tore my sign down. That would have been a deer control area sign. And then this here would have been his no trespassing sign. And if we look, but you look, here's a rock fence or rock wall right down the property line. And this is pretty common in our neck of the woods or in our area. If you see stones piled up, it's usually on a property line. So back to the purple paint here. Printed some information off, and I've done a lot of reading and whatnot and different things. And here's another example. The rock fence over there, that's the property line. He's got this tree here marked on my property. The purple paint is to make marking your boundaries, your property boundaries, easier than going out and putting up no trespassing signs. You can see that tree there is easily over the property line. Right there's a white tag, and the pin's just up there behind that little cherry tree there. And I haven't walked the whole property line. I'm sure it's like this the whole way down through. But the purple paint is a way for the landowner to mark his trees a lot easier. He can go in. Now, some of these paint marks here are not legal. They have to be at least 8 inches long, 3 feet to 5 feet off the ground. So this here marker boundary is no good, and they need to be no further than 100 feet apart. They need to be a vertical line at least 8 inches long and 1 inch wide, positioned 3 to 5 feet above the ground, no more than 100 feet apart. Now these here Pennsylvania laws, whenever you cross over onto a property line, it has purple paint. In the state of Pennsylvania, all but Philadelphia and Allegheny County, this rule goes through. Scout, come on! The puppy dogs, they love to be in the woods. I don't spend enough time in the woods. I've got too much other stuff. There's 22 states that recognize the purple paint laws. It's a way for the landowner to mark property without signs. The states include Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Missouri, Montana, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and West Virginia. That's the purple paint states. Now, there are variations in paint color. Idaho and Montana use orange paint instead of purple paint. Maryland used blue oil-based paint. Virginia allows purple or aluminum paint. North Carolina, purple paint only restricts hunting, fishing, or trapping. And the main reason for this is it saves money. It's very expensive. Like my property, it's about 3 miles around the perimeter of my property. It's supposed to discourage vandalism, environmental impact, because the paint's latex paint, so it's non-polluting. Once the latex purple paint dries, it's non-toxic. With the signs, you know, they blow off the trees. They kind of not everybody knows the meaning of purple paint, so, and it varies state to state. One of the things that I found, you know, why would you put purple paint? What I do, walk up past my, oh, I got them. The reason for purple paint, or why the color of purple, believe it or not, there's a lot of colorblind people out there, and for a colorblind person to see those purple marks on the trees, it almost is like looking at camo. You know, it just looks like a blob, you know, with certain colors, so it kind of blends in on the trees, and people that's colorblind have more of a tendency to not be able to see it. And purple is a color that can be seen by a lot more people, and a lot of colorblind people can see purple or a shade variation. So that's the reason they're using purple. Okay guys, I hope that helped you out. You know, with just one of the things that's happened here on the farm, that I'm hoping that they're gonna straighten it out. He said it might be a month or so, and I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He was real nice on the phone. I hope this video helped you out. Please subscribe, like, comment, share with a friend, hit that notification bell. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one. So long.